Minister was killed alongside Asef Shokat, the Deputy Defense Minister and brother-in-law to the President Bashar al-Assad, in a deadly bomb blast targeting the country's strategic national security building in Rawad, Damascus. Syrian army columns have been battling hundreds of Free Syrian Army fighters in the capital for 3 days now, and according to reports, the battle for the city has been gradually spreading across much of the heavily fortified capital. We have details in this report.
Panic was abound in the Syrian capital on Wednesday as the Battle of Damascus, launched by the Free Syrian Army, entered its 4th day. At noon, a suicide bomb targeting the National Security Building claimed the lives of Syria's defense minister and President al-Assad's brother-in-law. The area was immediately blocked off and journalists were kept at a distance. Later on, state television confirmed the deaths of Assad's defense minister, Daoud Abdallah al-Rajha, and his brother-in-law, Asif Shawkat. The suicide bomber was a bodyguard to Assad's inner circle and had access to an important meeting that was going on when he detonated his bomb. In addition to the 2 deaths, others were injured, including the interior minister. In the midst of all the chaos, a communique from the Syrian army aired. It confirmed that in the face of this attack, it is now more determined than ever to rid the country of these terrorists. The Free Syrian Army claimed responsibility for the attack as revenge for Assad's army, who will stop at nothing to eliminate rebels in the outlying areas of Damascus. Helicopters and tanks, but also reinforcements, have been deployed to the Golan area near the combat zones upon the insistence of the Israeli army. These incidents came just a few hours after voting ended at the Security Council on a resolution to impose sanctions if there is no end to the violence. A resolution still seen as overly threatening by Syria's allies China and Russia. Top Russian diplomat Sergei Lavrov said decisive battles are being waged now in Syria, and adopting this resolution will only serve to support the revolutionaries. He added that the UN has nothing to do with that.
People across the world are marking the 94th birthday of former South African president and iconic anti-apartheid figure Nelson Mandela. A series of events have been rolled out in his native South Africa, where people wished Madiba a collective happy birthday. The man himself had a private birthday celebration in the company of close relatives. We have more on that in this piece.
It was at 8 o'clock Wednesday morning when South Africa broke out into a joyous round of happy birthday to celebrate the 94th birthday of Nelson Mandela.
Happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to Mandela. I wish you many more years to come.
We would like to say thank you, Tata, and we wish you many more years to come.
Surrounded by those close to him, Mandela blew out his birthday candles in private. He made no public appearance save for this one photo taken the night before with former American President Bill Clinton. But his wife was more bold in her statements.
At the crisis last year, how could you imagine that he would be so well? But he recovered remarkably well.
In this radio cast from Soweto, messages abounded from anonymous people wishing him well, but also from his friends, such as George Bezos, who represented him at the Rivonia trial to be spared the death penalty.
We wish you well on this day, and maybe there have been many more. Sorry that I can't come down to see you. Happy birthday.
Known as Mandela Day, each person is invited to give 67 minutes of their time towards a good deed. That's 67 to honor the number of years Nelson Mandela sacrificed in his fight for freedom. July 18th has now become a day of massive street festivals, a moment to unite around the man who has become an iconic symbol to a country who now asks itself what might happen after he leaves them.
Authorities in Mali have officially asked the International Criminal Court to investigate alleged atrocities being committed in northern Mali. Mali has been gripped by internal crisis, with Islamist groups spreading out terror in the north of the country. The militant Ansar-Dine group recently pulled down ancient monuments in the city of Timbuktu amidst fierce international condemnation. We have details in this report.
Brahima Kone, a lawyer registered with the International Criminal Court, announced that Mali was asking the ICC to probe alleged atrocities committed in northern Mali by armed groups. A government delegation made the official request to the International Criminal Court prosecutor on Wednesday.
The prosecutor will examine the case to see if there's enough evidence in the referral to warrant an investigation. The office of the prosecutor must make the decision to investigate. If the office is authorized to proceed, they will issue arrest warrants for the perpetrators of these crimes.
The report presented to the ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda concerns the different armed groups currently in northern Mali, the Islamist Ansar Dine, the MNLA, and Mujao that has links to Al-Qaeda. Ansar Dine is the group responsible for the destruction of mausoleums in Timbuktu, which are listed on UNESCO's World Heritage Sites.
We are supplying the ICC with information that will enable the court to carry out a more thorough investigation within the country's borders in order to press charges against these people. That's the first thing. The second thing is to ensure that such acts are not repeated.
The International Criminal Court prosecutor Fatou Bensouda has given instructions to immediately proceed with a preliminary examination of the case in order to establish if there is enough evidence to open an investigation.
It's now time for the weather report from the Central Forecast Office.
The source assures us of a continuous flow, and from there, everything follows. And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without season. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton. Just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the weather segment. We begin with the summary. We experienced a warm and variably cloudy atmosphere with rain over places. Figures recorded are as follows. Yundum recorded the highest with 7.4 millimeters, Kerawan 4.2 millimeters, Sibanor recorded 1.8, Banjul 0.5, and Kawur recorded 3. We now take a look at the satellite image indicating thunderclouds over Mali, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, parts of the Central Africa and the eastern part. Elsewhere indicated clear skies and stable conditions. For the forecast tonight, we'll be expecting humid and partly cloudy atmosphere to prevail over the entire country, whilst tomorrow morning we were expecting humid and partly cloudy conditions to continue, becoming rain and or thunderstorm in the afternoon. Light to moderate southwesterlies will dominate the flow over the country, whilst morning temperatures will vary between 23 and 25 degrees Celsius, whilst afternoon temperatures will vary between 29 and 33 degrees Celsius. For those going to sea, we'll be expecting a low tide of 0.28 meters at 3:38 a.m. and also 0.31 meters at 4:15 p.m. For the high tides, we'll be expecting 1.75 meters at 10:15 a.m. and also 1.51 meters at 10:27 p.m. For the wave heights, we'll be expecting them to vary between 0 to 1 meter, and they will be mainly northwesterly swells. The sun will rise at 06:44 and will set at 19:39. Thanks for watching and do have a wonderful evening.
And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Taiwan has provided funds amounting